Hello, I'm Andy Walker. Welcome to Digital Farm TV Rural News. The Bureau of Meteorology has released its national seasonal temperature outlook for the coming spring. The National Probability Analysis average shows the following. Warmer days are more likely over northern and eastern Australia. Warmer nights are more likely over most of Australia. The chances that the average spring maximum temperature will exceed the long-term medium maximum temperature are above 60% over the northern Kimberley and Western Australia, the Northern and Central Northern Territory and Eastern South Australia and the 4 eastern states. Probabilities rise above 75% over the eastern top end of Northern Territory and parts of the Cape York Peninsula in Queensland. Global macroeconomic developments and adverse weather should prompt Australian beef and sheep meat producers to rethink their export market strategies as new trends in supply and demand emerged. This was the message from Rabobank's senior animal proteins analyst Sarah Sivia while visiting southern New South Wales producers. Ms Sivia told growers that adverse weather in the United States and increasing income growth across the Middle East offered strong opportunities for the Australian beef and sheep meat industries. The drought in the United States was the worst seen in more than 50 years, which for the medium term was presenting strong growth opportunities for Australian beef producers, she said. Australian exports to the US were up 40% this year, and Rabobank saw this as being likely to continue at these levels, depending on the Australian dollar's strength in coming months. Peak industry body AusVeg has expressed shock and concern at a statement by the Federal Department of Agriculture defending its 3-year-old scientific analysis of the devastating zebra chip disease and the tomato-potato psyllid in New Zealand. Zebra chip is described as an unknown pathogen, and the tomato-potato psyllid is a pest insect from North America which New Zealand Biosecurity admits was still spreading across that country. New Zealand has requested market access to import fresh potatoes into Australia for processing, but there is a risk that the potatoes may contain the disease. In a recent media release, DAF claimed to have completed a comprehensive risk analysis of the bacteria causing zebra chip disease and the psyllid responsible for spreading it. AusVeg Public Affairs Manager William Churchill said he was stunned at the language DAF used in its release. So much has changed during the past 3 years from a scientific perspective, he said. The Grains Research and Development Corporation is asking lateral thinkers to step forward and speak up. The GRDC has announced an innovation investment program designed to capture ideas and concepts that have the potential to improve the Australian grains industry. Manager of Commercial Farm Technologies, Paul Mybushk, says the Innovation Investment Program aims to draw on the broader field of invention and innovation to solve the grains industry's most intractable issues. The GRDC wanted to hear from anyone who had an idea for a novel product, service or technology that would be of value to the grains industry. The GRDC will invest up to $150,000 in short-term proof-of-concept type projects. New findings of barley leaf rust in Western Australia's southern cropping regions have prompted a warning to growers to inspect their crops now for the costly disease and spray infected crops early. Western Australian Department of Agriculture plant pathologist Kith Jayasena said the disease had been confirmed this month in barley crops at South Stirlings, at Woodjanallop in the Great Southern and at several locations around Esperance. Dr Jayasena said leaf rust could cause yield losses of up to 45% in untreated susceptible barley varieties and could also reduce grain quality. The increased screenings and inferior grain colour caused by barley leaf rust could mean that growers failed to achieve higher priced malting grades for barley. Meanwhile, in Thailand, The Economist magazine reports that the country's 30-year reputation as the world's biggest rice exporter may be under threat. Respected economic think tank, the Thailand Development Research Institute, recently reported that exports had fallen by 44% year on year since January, making it almost certain that the country would be knocked off its perch as the #1 exporter by either India or Vietnam. This was reportedly alarming exporters and had an unsavoury political taste to it, the magazine said. To many, it was the consequence of a populist new subsidy for rice farmers, who formed a bedrock of support for Yingluck Shinawatra, the Prime Minister elected in a landslide a year ago. Well, that's it for Digital Farm TV Rural News this week. I'll look forward to your company next week. I'm Andy Walker.